think in a sense it's rather exciting to be right on the edge of the dramatic changes that are taking place in Asia. We're the only Western country that is so close and so plugged in to what is happening in the major countries of Asia. We're more plugged into China than we are to India. We're well plugged into Japan, and we are well plugged into Indonesia. And this is a fantastic opportunity for Australia. We have to seize it energetically. Again, there are issues of the extent to which we put the investment into cultural matters and into language. We have lagged behind, as everybody knows, in training a generation of Australians to speak Mandarin. Again, the base of that is too thin, too shallow. It's in the universities, but it's not strong enough in business, not strong enough in many areas of the federal administration. This is a fantastic opportunity for us. We've dropped the ball. There are signs that we're picking it up. I hope the present government and I hope the present opposition. There are signs that some of them appreciate that we've really got to do so much more in our relationship with China than we've done in the recent past. I mean, we shouldn't have any illusions about the kind of government that exists in China. This is the best government that China has ever had. But this has followed a rather tumultuous century for China, and it's not clear to everyone how the situation is going to evolve. The Chinese, after an appalling century, they have a government that's still thoroughly corrupt, a government that's still autocratic, and it's a government that doesn't have the legitimacy that many Western governments aspire to and have. So it could be a tricky country to deal with. China is really many countries wrapped into one. We don't know it as well as we should, and we need to know it much better. But it's manifestly a great opportunity. It's the relationship that's helped us enormously in the recent past, but it's going to need diplomatic skills of a high order to manage our relationship with our major strategic partner, with the United States. And if you take account of investment, the United States is still our major economic partner. China is our major trading partner, but when investment is taken into account, the United States is the major overall economic partner. But that's in the process of change. Big challenge for us to manage that relationship with China. Big challenge to get it right. It's possible to argue, as Hugh White does, that the enhanced alliance with the United States over the past decade may give us an additional capacity to influence the United States. The last thing we want is a hostile relationship between the United States and China. That would pose enormous problems for us. I'm not sure, I wouldn't want to overestimate Australia's leverage and influence on the United States. It is such a very large and powerful country, but we have to hope that that US-China relationship is managed prudently in the coming decades. There's one single answer that academics, that theorists about aid, theorists about development are now virtually agreed on. And the single most important answer is education of women and girls. That's the secret in so many societies, that educating young women changes their attitude about how many children they want to have. It changes their attitude about education for their families. It changes the way the family disperses their income, with far more spent on education. That's the single best thing you can do in developing countries. I saw it in Bangladesh, but I've seen it now in other countries through my experience with CARE, but I lived for 3 years in Bangladesh, and I was there at a time when very few women had access to education. They were confined to the home, confined to duties that you could do within the home. It was just about impossible for a woman to earn any income. And over the recent decades, Bangladesh has changed that attitude, and that really has made a tremendous difference to that country. But it's true of so many countries that liberating the power of women is the single most important thing you can do in developing countries. It's a lesson that has to get into a lot of countries, and it has to get into a lot of Islamic countries where there is, unfortunately, and not all Islamic countries, but in some Islamic countries with strong Islamist tendencies, repression of women and other repressions of people's human rights. But educating women is the single most important thing that you can do to promote development and lift countries out of poverty. The Foreign Service is an absolutely fantastic career, and it will always remain a fantastic career. There is just no alternative, notwithstanding the internet and iPhones and faxes and whatever developments take place, to the expertise of the woman or the man on the spot who understands local cultures and can represent to the Australian government what is really happening in that country and what people think about us, or what people think about our initiative. The role of the diplomat has lasted for hundreds of years, and I believe it's going to last for hundreds of years in the future. So anyone contemplating Foreign Service should not have any doubt that there's a career for them. There is a career there, but they need to be sure that they can handle such a career, because it puts enormous pressure on family life, moving from country to country. It's an absolute prerequisite for a Foreign Service career that young men and young women are sure that they have an interest in foreign cultures. They have a desire to understand foreign cultures, because this is really a sine qua non of a diplomatic career. If you're not interested in foreign cultures, if you're not interested in understanding foreign cultures, or not understanding the cultures where you're posted, then manifestly it's not the career for you. But if you are, it does offer very, very rich psychic rewards.